The calendar flips to July 23, 2025, and a relentless, almost suffocating heat wave grips the United States, showing no signs of relenting. It's a heat that seeps into everything, stretching its scorching fingers from the parched Midwest farmlands, where crops wither under the relentless sun, to the East Coast's concrete jungles, where the city air shimmers with heat haze. Temperatures soar past 100 degrees Fahrenheit, baking everything under its reach. But this isn't just another summer scorcher, it's something far more sinister. It's heavier, more draining, and dangerously humid, making even the simplest tasks feel monumental. The culprit behind this oppressive heat? A powerful atmospheric phenomenon, a silent but deadly force called a heat dome, trapping heat and humidity like a lid on a simmering pot, stretching over multiple states. This isn't just about high numbers on a thermometer, it's about the very air you breathe. It's a complex weather system, a confluence of atmospheric conditions, amplifying the sun's effects day after day, turning what would be a hot summer into a potentially deadly one. What makes this year's event uniquely dangerous is the oppressive humidity, a thick, clinging moisture that saturates the air, making it feel like you're walking through a wall of steam, each breath a struggle. The combination of extreme heat and high humidity, a double whammy of atmospheric misery, is pushing heat index values into life-threatening territory, triggering widespread heat advisories, straining power grids to their breaking point as everyone cranks up their air conditioning, and overwhelming public health systems as heat stroke and exhaustion cases surge. But there's a hidden factor intensifying this misery, a piece of the puzzle that's often overlooked, one rooted in America's heartland, in the vast expanse of agricultural land, supercharging the heat wave in unexpected ways, amplifying its effects far beyond what models initially predicted. Let's break down the mechanics of the heat dome, dissecting its formation and behavior, and reveal the surprising force making this summer feel less like a typical heat wave and more like a giant, inescapable sauna. So, what is a heat dome? Imagine a giant lid clamped over the country, trapping hot air beneath it. Normally, hot air rises and cools, but under a heat dome, a stubborn high-pressure system presses down, compressing and heating the air even more. Each day, the sun bakes the ground, and the trapped air gets hotter, with the high-pressure lid refusing to budge for days or even weeks. The sinking air blocks cloud formation, leading to endless sunshine and intensifying surface heating. It's like leaving your car in the sun with the windows up. The heat just builds and builds. This atmospheric lid transforms a warm spell into a widespread, dangerous, and long-lasting event. The strength and persistence of this dome mean there's no overnight relief. Heat radiates from the ground all night, keeping temperatures dangerously high. Without cooling at night, the risks to health and infrastructure multiply. This is why this summer's heat feels so unrelenting. Now let's talk about a surprising contributor to this summer's humidity. Something that might not immediately come to mind when you think about the weather. Corn. Yes, that's right, the very same crop that feeds much of the nation plays a significant role in the muggy air we've been experiencing. Across the Midwest, the heartland of American agriculture, millions of acres of corn are at peak growth, stretching as far as the eye can see, a sea of green under the summer sun. And these millions of acres are releasing massive amounts of water vapor into the air, contributing significantly to the overall humidity levels. This is a natural biological process called evapotranspiration, where water moves from the soil through the plant and then evaporates from the leaves. Or, more memorably, and perhaps a bit humorously, it's known as corn sweat. Each acre of corn, acting like a miniature sprinkler system, can release up to 4,000 gallons of water daily into the atmosphere. Multiply that by millions of acres across the Midwest, a truly staggering amount of farmland, and you get trillions of gallons of moisture pumped into the atmosphere, creating a humid blanket over the region. This phenomenon happens most intensely during the hottest days of summer, when the corn is growing rapidly and the sun is beating down. It's happening just as the heat dome settles in, exacerbating the already sweltering conditions. The result? A feedback loop, a cycle that reinforces itself. The hotter it gets, the more the corn sweats to stay cool, and the more oppressive the humidity becomes, making it feel even hotter. This isn't a small local effect confined to the immediate vicinity of the cornfields. The moisture travels far beyond the fields, carried by prevailing winds to distant locations. Winds can carry this humid air hundreds of miles, spreading the effects of corn sweat far and wide. This affects cities and regions far from any farmland, contributing to the overall discomfort and intensity of the heat wave. Corn sweat is the hidden ingredient, the often overlooked factor, making this heat wave feel so suffocating, so heavy, and so relentless. It's a natural process, an inherent part of the corn's life cycle, but its impact on our weather, especially during these intense summer heat waves, is profound and undeniable. Corn sweat doesn't just add moisture, it's a game changer. It's not just a little extra dampness in the air, it's a fundamental shift in the atmospheric conditions. It transforms the entire air mass over the Midwest. This transformation affects everything from local weather patterns to regional climate dynamics. The air becomes heavier, denser, and far more challenging to navigate. The dew point skyrockets, climbing to levels that are typically associated with tropical climates, making the air feel tropical and sticky, not just hot. It's a thick, oppressive humidity that clings to everything. High humidity cripples our body's main cooling system, sweating. Our bodies are designed to regulate temperature through evaporation, but humidity throws a wrench in the works. When the air is saturated, sweat can't evaporate. It just sits there, beating on your skin, offering no relief, leaving us clammy and overheated. It's a miserable feeling, and it can quickly become dangerous. That's why the heat index, the feels like temperature, is so important. Can be 10 to 20 degrees higher than the actual air temperature. This difference highlights the significant impact of humidity on how our bodies perceive heat. Compare a dry 100 degrees Fahrenheit day in Phoenix, where sweat evaporates quickly, providing some cooling relief, to a humid 100 degrees Fahrenheit day in Kansas City, where the air is thick with moisture. In the Midwest, it feels like you're swimming through the air. Every breath is heavy, every movement is an effort. The cornfields act as a giant humidifier, pumping massive amounts of water vapor into the atmosphere, making the heat not just uncomfortable but dangerous. Heat stroke and heat exhaustion become real threats. Inside the heat dome, this moisture has nowhere to go. It's trapped, intensifying the effects, building up day after day, creating a relentless cycle of heat and humidity. The result is an air mass that's not only hot, but also incredibly oppressive, but heavy and saturated. It's a suffocating blanket of heat and moisture. This is the shocking truth, the reality of the corn sweat effect. We're not just battling the sun, we're fighting against an invisible force that amplifies the heat, but a massive, invisible river of water vapor rising from America's farmland. This river is changing our summers. It's a perfect storm of heat and humidity, creating conditions that are increasingly challenging and dangerous. The impact of this moisture-laden air isn't limited to rural areas. Weather patterns under a heat dome can transport this humidity hundreds of miles, bringing Midwest corn sweat to cities like Chicago and even New York. In cities, the urban heat island effect compounds the misery. Concrete and asphalt trap heat, while skyscrapers block airflow, turning downtowns into stifling corridors. Kansas City sits on the front lines, but even New York can feel the effects when the winds are right. City dwellers far from any cornfield experience the same oppressive farm-fueled humidity. This shows how interconnected our climate is. What happens in the heartland can shape life in our biggest cities. The heat and humidity blanketing Des Moines today can set the stage for dangerous conditions in Philadelphia or Boston tomorrow. It's a national challenge, fueled by the agricultural engine of the Midwest. Experts agree, this heat wave is especially dangerous because of its unique combination of factors. Dr. Ken Kunkel compares corn sweat to being in a steam room. Plants are irrigating the atmosphere, making it nearly impossible for our bodies to cool down. The key metric is the dew point. When it climbs into the upper 70s or 80s, the air feels like you're breathing water. This high dew point is a direct result of corn evapotranspiration, supercharging the humidity. The heat dome's scale and persistence trap not just heat, but also pollutants and moisture, worsening air quality and health risks. It's a compounding problem. Heat, humidity, and pollution all feed off each other. While heat domes and corn sweat aren't new, their intensity and duration are increasing with a warming climate. The baseline is higher, so when a strong heat dome sets up, the extremes are more dangerous. This isn't just summer weather. It's an extreme event, amplified by both natural processes and climate trends. Officials are issuing urgent warnings as the heat index soars past 110 degrees Fahrenheit in many areas. The heat index isn't just a comfort measure, it's a critical health risk indicator. When it climbs above 105 degrees Fahrenheit, the risk of heat exhaustion and heat stroke skyrockets, even for healthy people. Cities are opening cooling centers and urging residents to stay indoors, especially the elderly, children, and those with health conditions. The power grid is under strain as air conditioners run non-stop, raising the risk of blackouts. One of the most insidious dangers is the lack of overnight cooling. When lows stay in the upper 70s or 80s, our bodies can't recover. Cumulative heat stress builds up, increasing the risk of serious complications. Officials warn check on vulnerable neighbors, never leave kids or pets in cars, and treat this heat wave with the seriousness it deserves. Even pets and livestock are at risk. Extra water and shade are essential. The message is clear: prioritize safety and listen to local authorities. While the focus is on heat and humidity, a secondary threat looms: drought. The same high-pressure system that traps heat also blocks rain, creating a cruel paradox: humid air but parched ground. If the heat dome lingers, a flash drought can develop rapidly, drying out soil and stressing crops. Cornfields, while adding humidity, draw massive amounts of water from the ground. Without rain, the soil dries out, threatening crop yields and food prices. Meteorologists see little hope for immediate relief. These blocking patterns are stubborn. Climate models suggest more frequent, intense heat waves are becoming the new normal. The same process that signals healthy crops can quickly turn into a crisis if the rain doesn't come. Stressed plants, reduced harvests, and increased wildfire risk are all possible consequences. The heat dome is more than a weather event. It's an environmental stressor with far-reaching effects. Understanding the science behind this heat wave isn't just academic, it's vital for safety and preparedness. Knowing about heat domes and corn sweat transforms a miserable heat spell into an explainable, predictable phenomenon. This knowledge empowers us to make smarter choices, staying hydrated, seeking cool spaces, and heeding warnings. It also reveals how interconnected our environment is. Iowa's cornfields can shape New York's weather. Weather literacy is a critical skill as climate extremes become more common. By understanding the science, we move from passive victims to proactive citizens. We can better anticipate risks, support community resilience, and plan for a changing climate.